All right, guys, welcome back to the WCS European Premier League season number 3 as we now have our final series of the night. Group F. Is it going to be Nerchio or is it going to be HasuObs?
Nerchio.
Nerchio. Maybe Nerchio as well.
I think Nerchio, man, he's playing some good StarCraft today, and I have a feeling that he may be able to beat HasuObs as well here today. But right now, we have a top 8 from last season versus a Challenger League player from last season. And now they go head-to-head in a best-of-3 to find out who is going to take the second place of this group. Who is going to the round of 16? Who is going to play live in Cologne once again? They've both done it before. Season 1 was Nerchio. Season 2 was HasuObs. Now let's see who's going to be in Season 3. This is the last game of this week's StarCraft action at the Europe Premier League. Of course, we return next week, but this is it. The last game of the evening.
I think a lot of people, when they look at Nerchio, they don't see a Challenger League player. They see the Premier caliber that he does have there. And now, back on form, does he take this last series? We'll see, as we have spawning down to the bottom left-hand corner our red Protoss representing Germany and Maus. He is HasuObs. And up to the top right, we have our blue Zerg representing Acer and Poland. He is Nerchio.
And remember, this is the last chance. Right now is the last chance to win the mouse, baby. The mouse from Rocket. You can win it. And all you got to do is hashtag WCS, hashtag Rocket, and let us know who you think is going to win this best-of-3 series. You guess right, you're in the running to win the mouse. We've already had a couple of mouse winners previously. That mouse right there on your screen. We've had a couple of mouse winners already.
We have.
And you could be another one if you enter this competition.
And if you win, make sure to tweet at us telling us that you won. If we get several tweets saying that they won, then we know you're trolling, and that's not true. You can only be one winner. But now, PVZ final series of the night. We have Derelict Watcher as our first map. And oh boy, what a series. HasuObs versus Nerchio. This is going to be good.
And in their primes, respectively from both players, in their primes, I have to just say Nerchio wins this best-of-3 10 times out of 10 times in their primes.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
If we got a HasuObs when he was at the best in StarCraft 2, which
recently
is recently when it comes to his statistics, and you look at Nerchio in his best when he was winning everything a year ago, Nerchio's going to win this if it comes down to that. But it's 2013, and as you said, HasuObs is playing well recently. But likewise is Nerchio. He's built himself back up. He's built himself to a good place. He's on the verge of making it back to the round of 16 where he was in Season 1, and definitely looking for future goals. Remember, Nerchio last year was, quote-unquote, the foreigner hope at a lot of tournaments. He's beaten Koreans in the Home Story Cup 5 final. He beat a Korean to win it.
He did. He did. I would argue that for Nerchio, his prime, his absolute prime showing, it wasn't when he won a tournament. It was when he placed second at a tournament, which was the Intel Extreme Masters Cologne, the MVP one. Because that showing that he had there was amazing. So very, very good performance by him. And as you said, he's now back on form. It's as if other games broke him down military style. It's like we have to break him down to build him back up. And he's here, and he's looking to advance on to the round of 16, if not further. If not further.
He could do very well this season, and I think the odds of him doing very well are pretty low, considering that, it's Nerchio and he hasn't been doing that well recently overall this year. So I put money on him doing well, because you'd make a buck or two back, I think.
A buck or two.
A buck or two back. But so far, we have the build shaping up. 3 hatcheries from Nerchio, just super normal. Spawning Pool into the second hatchery, into the third hatchery here. And we just have a regular setup from HasuObs, who cancels the Cybercore, as it was a bit of a wonky build wall that he had there. And does lose a bit of minerals in the cancel and the rebuild. But is set up pretty good for a regular game.
Yep.
But as mentioned earlier, we saw Titan, I think, play this lines. Or I think it was Titan. Yeah, it was, because he's the only player that played against Nerchio earlier. You have 2 options, really. 2 really clean options. There's obviously a lot more options, but the most used options are for Stargate play off the back of this, or for robotics facility. But I look at HasuObs, and I never think he's a heavy multitasking player. I've never looked at him in that way, which requires... That's what's required to make a good, successful Stargate play.
Yeah, it certainly is, and you have to exploit the hour's angles and try and keep your opponent on their toes. Nerchio, though, and meanwhile, he has his third position finishing, and there's the Stargate here from HasuObs. And it's funny because, you know, despite you're not looking at him like that, it's something that Hasu constantly goes to, the Stargate play. And he does have varying degrees of success with it. Yep. It's something that I feel is a little bit difficult to hard to pull off on Derelict Watcher. Because obviously securing that third is of the utmost importance, which can be a little bit difficult later on.
Yeah, with the Stargate coming down, he can obviously build Phoenixes here. He could build a single Void Ray and expand off the Void Ray. But Nerchio is very well known for using a lot of Zerglings to prevent the third Nexus from going down.
Yeah.
That must be a focal point for HasuObs here in this game. He has to not let that happen. Nerchio right now has a Roach Warren coming down, but he's about to scout the Stargate, so I don't think we'll see too much use from this this Roach Warren at all. It was just in case there was a +1 attack or gateway attack to follow this up.
Yeah, he didn't really have too much intel about his opponent's wall. Of course, he saw that it was there, but aside from that, didn't know too much
and
about
he immediately starts the layer. So he's already changed his plan. He's got a bunch of Zerglings coming in, which are going to try to stop the third base from going down, because he knows that a lot of players like to try to take it. And then behind it, he's already got gases that are going to be building up to throw the Hydralisk Den down. Hydralisk great against air, and probably playing a longer timing here, because he hasn't got evolution chambers down, with a lot of Hydras and a lot of pressure towards an expected third Nexus from HasuObs.
Yeah, exactly. It's a very strong army to actually break that third location, and the Zerglings are already moving over there to, you know, maybe do some denials. He knows his opponent doesn't have many units because he has this Stargate investment, so he can try and traverse the middle of the map and see what he can make happen. And, well, he already heads up to that third.
Single evolution chamber and Burrow coming in here, and these Zerglings will cancel that third. Robotics facility thrown down here by HasuObs. Upon seeing all these Zerglings, he's like, oh my god, I'm going to need Colossus in this game. Because he realizes that Zerglings are just going to keep him from ever taking that third base easily. Because Nerchio can build more and more and more and more. And so we aren't going to see a third base from HasuObs for quite a while in this game, for a good minute or two.
Certainly going to be difficult. Phoenix trying to find those angles, as we previously mentioned, but not too much to work on, as there's already even more Spore Crawlers going down at other locations. He just threw one down in the main initially and is now adding on even more. So the Zergling's still posing a threat in the middle. Burrow's becoming more of a common thing, and you know, for Nerchio, if he keeps delaying it, he can just burrow a Zergling at that third and be really irritating. Yeah,
absolutely, and I think that's what he's going to do too, getting Burrow down. He's getting the Spire on the way. So I think he's potentially expecting the switch up into Robo upon showing all these Zerglings, expecting a normal reaction from a Protoss players to freak out a little bit here and go towards the Robotech to Colossus, I think, is the usual way. But we do see an Immortal coming in, which is a little bit funky coming out from HasuObs. A little bit funky indeed. But the Robotics Bay is now down.
Picks up a load of drones and kills those off, but the Zergling is just going to head up to that third. Also get the confirmation that it's not there.
Spire's been scouted.
Did he see it?
Yep.
Well, that's certainly a good pickup. Robobay goes down as well, but again, he doesn't... Oh, there we go. There's an observer on the way, so absolutely needs that to clean up his third base.
Yeah, and upon seeing the... Well, the thing is, he isn't reacting to the Spire yet. Like, he hasn't kept on Phoenix production, because that's what you'd ideally want to be doing in this case. A Void Ray starts, which isn't going to help him too much against Mutalisk here. There is sometimes, I mean, if you're playing fast and you're trying to do all these different things, which we talked about, HasuObs usually isn't a guy that plays super, super fast in his playstyle. Maybe he missed it. Maybe he didn't actually see it.
Yeah, maybe. As the Zergling still posing a threat over at this base. Makes him force out some force fields, and, well, aside from that, there is Corruptors, 9 of them on the way, with Baneling Nest.
Oh, wow.
Wowzers.
9 Corruptors, and there are a lot of Zerglings. So what he's saying now, Nerchio, by the way of building the Corruptors, is saying, okay, my opponent's seen my heavy Zergling style and probably knows about my style recently, and we'll try to get to Colossus. So what I'm going to try to do here is bring that Colossus down, and then come in and kill the third Nexus anyway.
Yep. It's going to be difficult here for Hasu, and even his third base that he's anticipating to get down once this creep's gone is going to be blocked still by that burrowed Zergling. So there's only one observer in the middle of the map that is keeping an eye on those Zerglings. And, oh, he's going to get the probe. Oh, no, he's not going to get the probe. Never mind. All right. And,
are there enough Zealots here? And are there going to be enough Banelings to deal with them? Mutalisk straight after this, by the way. The third Nexus is still not down. And this Zergling is delaying it by so much.
The Corruptors kind of flew into a bit there a bit haphazardly and did take a lot of damage. Did not get any kills there.
This is a 3-base Zerg with 6 gases versus a 2-base Protoss for 12 minutes 30. He's delayed this Nexus by so much.
Yeah, he really has. Massive amounts of time. The Observer gets over there finally, and he will clean up these Zerglings. But other than that, it's a massive, massive delay. So HasuObs here is in a little bit of a bind. There's even the Carapace going down for these Corruptors as well as Mutalisks. This is annoying. A second Stargate, he actually, he absolutely has to, but how well is this going to work when it's been delayed like this?
Yeah, that's right. Mutalisks get into the mineral line now, and Corruptors are going to help them out against the Phoenixes, so it's going to have to be a lot of Stalker defense. And so far, HasuObs is trying to play well. I mean, he's doing okay in the game. He's not dead.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got his Nexus still alive. He's got that third finally on the way. But look at the Zerglings going straight towards the Nexus here.
Oh, could actually get the denial on this.
Oh, man, he will.
Oh, the wraparound. The wraparound. This is just going to be too much for him actually to deal with. And there you go. Bye-bye third base. Forces the cancellation. This is a massive, massive delay that we're now seeing on the hands of HasuObs. And Nerchio is exploiting it fully. He's just moving around with these Mutalisks, really keeping HasuObs back.
And behind it, getting plus from Carapace, you said, multiple expansions, more and more Mutalisks being added on because he's got so many gases. And he's got so many minerals. He's adding on a bunch of spine crawlers in case his opponent says, oh, I can't play for a macro game anymore because I'm so far behind with my third Nexus, I'll have to attack. And Nerchio's preparing himself for that likelihood.
I have to go back to what we've said time and time again during this cast. Back on form is Nerchio. He's looking scary right now. HasuObs, he has a nice army, yes, but Nerchio's going to have a blistering economy behind this eventually.
Well, Nerchio's already up to 22 Mutalisks, about to be anyway. And that's wonderful against 10 Stalkers, 6 Corruptors, considering 6 Phoenixes, considering there's Corruptors as well. And he's even going to get another cancel on this third.
Oh, no. Oh, HasuObs. Oh, that is brutal. Yes, a lot of the Zerglings are trapped in, but Nerchio's going to replenish that pretty easily. Off of this, HasuObs is just going to have to rely on one giant army and try and go. This is too much.
This is a lot. Obviously, that Nerchio is throwing away so many Zerglings to do this all the time, but they're only minerals to him, and his army is so focused on gas. He's got 10 gases now, with the bottom 2 in the bottom right about to be mined from. That means so many more Mutalisks, so many more Corruptors, and he's making an air force that, because HasuObs is starved from his third base and gases, he can't really do anything about. Like, he's got a low air count. You can never really get to Storm. He definitely can't get to Storm on this kind of gas income.
Yeah, and 3 Phoenix at any given time here, so that's going to be his route to get back into this. But there's no fleet beacon. Where is the fleet beacon? He's taking a lot of damage on his economy as well. He needs the fleet beacon. He absolutely needs any Impulse Crystals if he wants to continue to compete with this.
And more units have been added on here by Nerchio. Very intelligent game from him as he's starting to mine gas from the bottom right-hand side now as well. So he's on 10 gases, which is going to enable him to even tech switch while keeping up a super high unit count too.
Yeah, that gas income's massive. Look at the income on HasuObs is pretty much almost mined out. It is natural
and
as
he's
well.
not mining gas from his main base because the Mutalisks keep poking in.
Yeah, so again, this income is very, very heavily in favor of Nerchio. He's actually just continuing to add on Corruptors here, so them alone are going to do massive damage.
A backstab of 4 Zealots, though. That is nice. That is nice from HasuObs. Managing to sneak out 4 Zealots because he's on the back foot all game long.
Yeah,
that's
very well
nice. That is good.
Limits a little bit of the gas income, killing off some drones as well. But meanwhile, the third base, under some pressure again. Can't do too much to it. Those Mutalisks aren't all fully there yet. Only 20, so they're not going to kill off the building that quickly.
Just this is frustrating for HasuObs, but he has got a decently sized army. But Nerchio's hit 200 supply now. With his gas income, he's able to build another 6 Mutalisks. His +2 Carapace is almost done. He's going to be at 27. And a lot of Corruptors to back this up too, and a lot of gas to build whatever he wants behind this. Remember, he can remax on Roaches. He's got Roach Speed. He's got melee upgrades, so he can remax on Zerglings as well. He's got Spine Crawlers. He can force a base trade. There's a lot of options that Nerchio can choose from here if we see HasuObs try to push out.
And he also sees that he has that bottom right-hand corner base as well. So a few of the fears that HasuObs has had for the majority of this game have been realized, knowing that his opponent has been on this much gas income for the whole time. Hell, I mean, the army enough is evidence to support the fact that he has so much gas income. Just going straight for the engagement here, taking out those Void Rays very, very quickly. The Phoenix are going to be next if he's not careful, as those Corruptors start zoning those out from the Mutalisks who are doing damage to those Stalkers. There's not enough anti-air here for HasuObs.
Nerchio says, yo, bro, I got the dollar. You ain't got the dollar, I got the dollar.
The dollar.
And at this point, he can remax. He's got so much money in the bank because of the way he's played this. 5 bases versus pretty much 2-0 game. We've never seen 3 bases properly optimized from mining.
Yeah.
And he keeps building more Mucilis with 10 more on the way. This has just been stranglehold from the get-go from Nerchio. And HasuObs shoves all his chips in the middle of the table by moving out across the map. And this is just going to end one way or the other now. He's thrown all in the middle, and Nerchio's drilled a hole in the middle of the table, and all the chips have fallen out.
Poor chips, poor chips. Whoa, and even the Phoenix here are going to fall away. The Mutalists just fly in to kill off the remaining ground force whilst the Corruptors deal with the air. This is a sorry sight here for HasuObs, realizing that he's just been completely overrun. GG, game number 1 goes to Nerchio.
Nerchio, you know, he looked good but shaky versus Titan, but Titan's a wonky player to play against, so it is difficult to play against him. But in these 2 games that we've seen him play, this is it, all right? This is Nerchio's opponent, and this is Nerchio. That's what it's been, Claris. That's Nerchio.
Get wrecked. That's basically what he said. It's that's pretty tough to deal with. HasuObs now faces a tough time. I guess he goes for something aggressive because establishing a 3rd base against this is, I don't think it happens.
Nerchio is, I mean, we keep on talking about how well he's playing, but he is playing absolutely incredible here today, and he continues to show that, and he's threatening now HasuObs' place in the round of 16, which I'm quite sure that he came into this group hoping he could advance from.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, having that round of 8 finish last season was fantastic for HasuObs. It must have given him a great confidence booster, and it must have given a lot of people out there a slightly elevated impression of HasuObs. But now he is on the verge of elimination. Nerchio's looking great. He's looking really good.
He's looking really, really good today.
Yeah.
And the Germany versus Poland war continues between these 2 players, and well, Nerchio's got the upper hand once again, and he always has done, to be honest, on the German StarCraft 2 scene. There's not been too many people who've stopped him in his past, and he continues to tear it up again today. And he's looking, so far, I mean, we've seen some pretty dominant performances in this season in the Premier League. 4GG was pretty dominant.
Yes.
And we've had a couple of other strong performances too, but Nerchio's right up there for me, even though he's in the losers match. Into the finals match, even though he lost game 1, these last couple of games that we've seen have been so classy that he really is up there as a top contender to exceed the round of 16 and above.
Yeah, I mean, I can only imagine what he's going to bring to the round of 16 if he flies through here in the round of 32, as he is doing. So we're just waiting for Nerchio. 1 minute here. Frost will be our next map. And after that game, I have to also go for 2-0 Nerchio. A lot of people out there are going 2-0 Nerchio as well. That was,
I mean, the way
horrific.
he's playing, the way he played against Shuttle and the way that he just played now. I mean, what can we see apart from a 2-0? HasuObs needs to do something to stop this wrecking ball, and he's just steamrolling this group so far. Even though I keep saying steamrolling this group, he's playing for 2nd place, but the way that he is performing is so incredibly well that it almost deserves a 1st place spot finish.
I mean, the series against Titan still could have gone either way with how Titan was, going for the aggression. Nerchio almost having held off. There was a point where he didn't even see it coming for a long time, so could have gone a different way. But now we jump into game number 2 here on Frost, as we have spawning up to the top right our blue Zerg representing Poland as well as Acer. He is Nerchio. And down to the bottom right as our red Protoss representing Mousesports and Germany. He is HasuObs.
All right, what do you do if you're HasuObs?
Oh, God. Especially, it's Frost as well. I was going to say something aggressive, but it's hard to get across the map to do something aggressive in these spawning positions. I don't know, man. I have nothing. You? It's tough, right?
I mean, these newer maps are a little bit more difficult to take a 3rd on. Look at this map, and look at HasuObs' potential 3rd bases. Both of them out in the open. Both of them kind of with multiple attack paths to enter the 3rd.
I do strongly believe that this one down to the south is the better of the two. Because if you take a third in this open area, yes, you're expanding towards your opponent, and that's sometimes a little bit of advantage, disadvantage, depending on how you're going to play out. But in this matchup, the way you play it out, you want as little surface area as possible around that base. Yeah. And this one's, there's a lot of surface area.
There's a lot of surface area. So I think that Nerchio will play a similar strategy, which will be to deny the third base of HasuObs a lot. But we may see something different come from HasuObs because he's got a pylon inside his main base here. He's going to be going, I think, by the looks of it, for this Nexus first. And I wonder, well, Forge first here, sorry. I wonder if he does try to go for an aggressive two-base play because of how he had trouble trying to take a third. What happens if he doesn't even try to take the third, if that's Nerchio's game plan?
And the thing is, if it was going to go for some kind of two-base aggression, then I would have maybe liked to have seen the gateway opener as opposed to the Forge opener, but it can still work out from the Forge opener, don't get me wrong. So we'll see what HasuObs has up his sleeve, because he has to have something special. He really does.
Where is this probe going?
Probe? It's up to the left, and...
Why?
How curious.
And this Overlord's like...
Hello.
Yo, bro.
Why are you here?
Sup? And now the probe's like... sup?
Oh, nuts.
Not much, just checking out in case maybe you had something up here, Nerchio. And Nerchio's like... HasuObs, why would I have something up there?
The Zerglings are going to go and check.
Just in case you decided to proxy a base. And Nerchio says, why would I do that, HasuObs? HasuObs replies in a stuttery manner of, I don't know why. I was just being cautious.
Oh no, not the stuttering.
And a second probe is sent out here by HasuObs. But this is that already shows a bit of... So we talked about in the last game how Nerchio and other players can read into mentalities of single movements in the game. That is a weird move.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And now, like, huh.
What do you think it was going to be? Proxy Stargate or something crazy?
Could be Stargate. It could be Twilight Council. It could be a new Nexus.
Yeah.
It could have been anything along those lines. But, I mean, it could have been to bring out and use later for another pylon. It really could have been anything. So... But it could have been something, which is the most important part, because there's no reason to throw a probe up there. And especially because he sent the probe straight back home afterwards. It's just a little bit weird of a movement with the probe here. And Nerchio would be thinking, all right, I'm on to you, bro.
Well, fully enough, there's still a probe out in the middle of the map.
Yeah.
He's hidden over between these bases.
Look at HasuObs' build. He's got this double gateway really early on after this in the wall. He's building a couple of zealots here. And he's got the Cybercore and the Forge hidden at the back.
Yeah.
Both out of vision range from his opponent, who is spawned to the top right and is going to have a harder time seeing what's going on. Certainly. He has spotted the double gateways, and Nerchio is a little bit confused about this. He's got a Roach Warren down nice and early, way before we could see anything.
There's going to be that Stargate coming out from HasuObs, but you're right, it's difficult to tell exactly what's going on if you're not seeing any Chrono Boost being spent on the Forge or the Cybernetics Core, what's going on. But he's got a lot of Zerglings moving out. He's got the Roach Warren going down as well. He's taking precautions against everything, and he finds the probe. So great pickup there from Nerchio.
Yeah, the 3 Zealots and a Mothership Core trying to do a bit of damage maybe here, but Nerchio with a couple of Zerglings out and the Roach Warren about to finish. He shouldn't really take too much damage here, I don't think, but we'll see. But so far behind this, it's very normal play from HasuObs. It's not something crazy, which maybe Nerchio is expecting here. It's a very early third Nexus. And look at this Overlord Scout. It's perfection.
Yeah, he moves in at exactly the right time.
Hey,
hello.
You?
I think Nerchio feels very confident in this series right now. Mega confident. I mean, despite not seeing fully exactly what's going on behind that third base, I mean that third base at this time gives him exactly all he needs. But
Nerchio can't punish it because he was playing a little bit confused. He decided to get the Roach Warren and Roaches before even getting Zergling speed in the lair as well. So he doesn't have Zergling speed. So he can't really punish it. He can't get him across the other side of the map fast. It's a big map. He can't really use Hydralisk fast either. And I'm expecting a couple of extra Stargates from HasuObs here to play an air-focused play. And I think he'll get away with this third base, and I think he'll set
Yeah.
himself up quite nicely into the mid game.
Yeah, it's funny how, I mean, just this cannon and this Void Ray can shut down a lot of just these Roaches and Zerglings.
Yeah.
There's no way they can actually do anything there with just those two, that unit and that building alone. So, and again, this base is really good for HasuObs. He can continue to throw down a cannon, throw down another gateway here, and it's a fantastic wall-off to be able to reinforce as well as just kind of defend.
Yeah.
Really good.
The one thing that could ruin HasuObs' day if he doesn't see the Spires coming, because there are 6 gases being mined from here, and we could see airplay again. Nice catch of the Roaches, though. Really nice catch there.
Yeah, we'll kill those off. And fourth base does go up to the top left here for Nerchio. So HasuObs is going to get the opportunity to play this out a little bit longer.
But no additional gateways. I mean, Stargates. No additional Stargates, which is a common style that we see so often here. And that's going to lend its hand towards the Spire play being more efficient here. Nerchio is expanded to a 4th and a 5th to the top left. Doesn't want to expand a little bit more south, because obviously that's going further closer towards HasuObs.
True. Wow, that 5th, that's cool. So Nerchio, and I think he ends up getting away with that for quite a while. Unless, for example, HasuObs starts to mosey on around the map with this army and then just recalls it back, which he could do. But he doesn't know exactly about his opponent's positioning of bases yet, so he would have to find that out first.
Ooh, additional Stargate. That's cool. Maybe another one too. That's
yeah,
super
with that
cool.
probe there. Or not.
Maybe not. He's got enough money, so it's just going to be 2. 2 is just a safety net here then. He's also getting +1 attack, so there's no reason not to get another one.
Look at the Overseer time, man.
Yeah. He's always on top.
Yeah, really on top of
10
things.
Mutalists are on the way, though. Phoenix production has started. Remember, HasuObs is completely blind. He's got no idea about anything.
Oh, and +1 air weapons as well for the Phoenix. So, cool choices here from
But there's a
HasuObs.
massive window to do damage with Mutalists before. Like, HasuObs is sending out a scout now, but the Mutalists are already done and they're on their way. So he sees them, but he's also going to lose a lot before the Phoenixes are ready.
Yeah, he doesn't have a cannon in this mineral line. He has, what, 1 Phoenix is his anti-air. Along with Void Rays, yes, but they're a little bit more inefficient.
Yeah, I've completely forgot about Photon Overcharge there. That does save his mineral line a little bit, and he can't get towards a 3rd because there are cannons, 3 cannons to be precise.
Yeah, it's a nice little defense, but he's going to try and kill off some drones during all of this. I think it's mainly because, whoa, actually, he's going for a 2nd Spire.
Yeah.
I was going to say maybe he just doesn't commit to them, but this is a huge committal to air.
Well, he's on 4 bases. He's about to take a 5th base with gases. That's a lot of gas income Nerchio's about to be on here. He's on a decent drone count to 90 drones. So this means he could take a 6th base, and it also means that he could throw down a bunch of spines in case there was a counterattack. So he's going to play very heavy air. This is a style we don't see too often with double spire, double upgrades.
But HasuObs has the fleet beacon going down, so he's kind of anticipating what is going on here. He's in a good spot to shut this down.
With so much gas income, though, it's so many units.
And 11 Corruptors coming out to shoo them away. So it's going to be about that big dance that goes on in the air. And this is, yeah, that's a lot of income.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, Pylon queued up at the top left from this probe, but doesn't get there ever.
I mean, HasuObs can't even really harass. He's sending up 2 zealots. I mean, he can't get a probe out. He's trying to.
Nerchio's vision on the map's great as well. Like, he just knows pretty much what's going on, mostly aside from the very right-hand side, but he knows every other avenue.
Oh, man, this is so scary. This is just unbelievably scary. Nerchio's taking a 6th base, and the gas is there probably soon, too. This is unbelievably scary.
And it's rare you would see a Zerg just kind of function off of 12 gas geysers.
HasuObs saw the double spire, too.
Did he?
Yep.
Oh, okay, so he now definitely knows. He's moving Void Rays
because he knows there's going to be Corruptors, too.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of Corruptors
HasuObs
now.
must fight against a guy with $1,000.
It's a tough one.
1,000.
Times 1,000, man. The Phoenix, they fly into that and lose one of them. All right. If you're HasuObs here, do you just keep going air and try and deal with this?
Storm is a nice option, but because of the regeneration of Mutalisk, it is difficult to pull off. So I would just go probably just, heavy air as well. I wonder if he can squeeze in Storm, but the way that he's going towards shields is definitely leaning. I would like Archon. Archon's in the mix too. The thing is, I talk about all these things. He has to play very defensive to get everything he wants. So I'd expect him to take a 4th base and just play ultra defensive to build a Death Ball army. Mutalisk and Corruptors are not that good super late.
Look at all these pylons down to the left-hand side as well. HasuObs trying to harass these bases, knowing that his opponent has set himself up so nicely in terms of that income. If he got that hatchery, it'd be really nice to shut down some of that gas, but look at the gas income, 1,300 a minute. That's way too much.
And well, HasuObs is moving out here. He's got to be careful because he does not have a recall, and I'm actually very scared for him right now.
Ooh, a lot of Overlord's going to die over the left-hand side here.
Is he baiting, or what is he doing here?
I'm not...
He could lose everything. I'm sure he's going to open up a pathway to Zealots on the left-hand side if he pulls all these units over, but he's going to have to fight here and he's going to lose everything.
Corruptors versus Phoenix, they're going to die off pretty quickly whilst the Mutalisks just kill everything over on the right-hand side. I don't think this has gone the way HasuObs had envisioned it. The Phoenix come back to try and push away these Mutalisks, and they're going to get a few free kills, but it wasn't really free in the grand scheme of it.
Well, the Mutalisks are dropping like flies.
Yeah.
But here come the Corruptors to aid out too. But that was a lot that the HasuObs just lost. And now it's going to be more difficult to establish a fourth base, which is the ultimate goal here. Because 4 bases and 8 gases gives him a lot of gas to be able to get to the Archons and stuff to be able to support these air units. Because right now, I mean, Nerchio's rolling around in piles of dollar bills, and he's rubbing them on himself, and he's making other people rub dollar bills on themselves. He's got so many dollar bills, man. He can do anything he wants.
He's giving them away.
He's lighting cigarettes with dollar bills. He's burning money. He's flushing it down the toilet. He's giving some HasuObs to burn.
Whatever. It doesn't really matter. He's happy, man. Well, Nerchio, it's rare he smiles.
He should come to Cologne. There's a lot of homeless people. He give all his money away to him.
He certainly could help out the world. That's what Nerchio could do. Philanthropist Nerchio.
What a man.
He's such a kind guy. I never even knew this about him until just now. Oh, wow.
Well, he's about to bank a lot of money. He's got the Hive on the way, too. He can make any tech switch. That's the one of the scariest parts about this.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he didn't get any evolution chambers to try to upgrade his ground units. He's only got +1 melee. If he was upgrading twice as well on the ground and then just make an ultra switch right at the end across all these Phoenixes, you know?
Yeah.
He can do anything with the money he has.
Yeah, he really can. He's just going to pressure
Feed
this
the world, Nerchio.
base. Yeah, feed the world. And unfortunately, these Phoenix aren't going to get fed. They're just going to get obliterated if they're not careful. As this aggression is continuing. The Corruptors just stand here and tank the Phoenix. They don't really care too much. Mutalisks is going to get out for now.
Phoenix is dealing a lot of damage, but also taking a lot of damage. And in trade-off, it's not fair. Just because of the money situation, it's not fair. These Phoenixes are not getting replenished. Like 14 Mutalisks and 5 Corruptors to 2 Void Rays and a Phoenix replenishment.
Yeah.
HasuObs has got some Zealots out again, which is nice. He's trying to slow this income down, but unfortunately that's not working either. And his game plan to try to be a little bit aggressive with these units is not working out as well as he hopes because it's such a big map.
Phoenix looking to do something on the other side of the map as well, trying to put some pressure back onto Nerchio, trying to kill off some of these Corruptors. Good transfuses will keep them alive. Overlord goes down, but at the same time, the Zealot harassment was denied over at the left-hand side, and Nerchio is looking for more bases.
Yeah, Nerchio's looking for any pylons, bases, anything he can find on this left-hand side.
This is a tough spot here.
He knows the Zealots that keep coming from somewhere, so he's just going to try to have a look around if there's a hidden base.
And he's got 3-3 going down for this air armada of Nerchio.
Gosh.
That's a scary spot to be in. I mean, cannons galore here for Nerchio, for HasuObs. They were probably actually bought with Nerchio's money, but I don't know if the Mutalisks are going to allow him to live for so long.
Well, the Twilight Council's finally coming in, so he can make that switch over to Storm and Archons, but Nerchio may just win the game, man. These air units are 2-2. There is not that much from HasuObs here, and he's starting to lose a lot of supply. Yeah,
the Void Rays just fall down, and unfortunately the Phoenix may end up doing so if they commit a little bit too much to this assault. But again, they still do have Anion Pulse Crystals, of course, having been researched previously. So there is the opportunity for Hasu to be really cost efficient, but it's all about absolutely pinpoint precision in terms of control.
Nerchio's taking a 4th base now as well. The Phoenix, I mean, the Mutalisks are going to take down the Stargate power while the Corruptors support them.
Oh, that's brutally really needs more anti-air units in the form of airborne threat from those Stargates. So now this is hard. HasuObs has been constantly strangled throughout this series, and he's being strangled again. Yeah, look at the Mutalisks. They'll clean every single gateway unit up. The only units can stop Mutalisks now are Phoenixes, and they're dropping in numbers. They're only at 7, and there are 22 Corruptors. And the gas for Nerchio is over 1,000 still. Despite 3-3, despite consistent reinforcements, he needs better mineral income. He's actually having almost more gas income than he has mineral income at this point. Yeah, that's bizarre, but it's apparently happening here as this 4th base is still not been allowed to get up and running here for HasuObs. And 3+3 weapons goes down for these Phoenix. Again, yeah, it's a nice upgrade to have, but without the mass Phoenix that you need and the mass anti-air that you need to deal with this, it's not going to make a massive difference.
I just don't really know what to say in this game anymore, man. Like, it's a war of money.
Yeah.
It's like the USA versus some third world country. They're just beating up on these countries, man. There's nothing they can do about it.
Yeah.
They don't have the resources, and that's what it feels like for HasuObs right now. He's managed to establish a 4th base, but he's lost so much while doing it. And the thing is that 3-3 is about to be done.
Dude.
A carrier is trying to be made for some God knows unknown reason.
Dude, HasuObs needs to hand that carrier over to the Russians because USA is doing pretty well here against this poor third world country. He needs to hand over those weapons right now. Otherwise, it's going to be...
This is absolutely unbelievable from Nerchio. This is a train wreck.
Yeah.
This is an absolute train wreck that's unstoppable. It's unfixable. There's nothing that HasuObs can do.
And the Phoenix just dying off left and right. This carry, I mean, it's the one last try for HasuObs. But even that Stargate that was making it goes down. Nerchio just playing a brutal style.
Yeah.
Absolutely brutal. Zealot's going to try and head across the map here for HasuObs, but it's going to be lights out for the poor German very soon.
And Starbuck and Nerchio hand-in-hand moving into the round of 16 by the looks of it, looking to kill every single Protoss that moves in to that round of 16.
They looked at Season 2 and were like, actually, that's too many Protoss. We're just going to completely ravage
like,
everyone.
I'll come back to kill them for you.
Yeah. All you poor other Protoss and Terrans trying to handle them. Bless.
Yeah, bless you guys. Right now, 5 Phoenix and 4 Zealots versus 32 Mutalisks and 20 Corruptors.
With 3-3. With
3-3.
This is
silly.
Yeah.
This is a little bit silly.
He got an expansion up to the top left, but that's about all he's going to get now.
All the Stargates have been destroyed. They have to be remade. This is one side. This is Nerchio playing with his food, spitting it out, eating it, spitting it out, playing with it, and eating it.
Ew.
Disgusting.
Ew.
Absolutely disgusting play from Nerchio.
Oh, that's a revolting thought. But now, yeah, that's pretty much it, man. 100 supply up, army supplies 126 to 225. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. All those probes gonna die off, poor little fellas.
Nerchio's making shapes of Mutalisk with his food. His breadcrumbs, he's turning it into flocks of Mutalisks.
He's got alphabet spaghetti and he's spelling out Mutalisk on the floor.
That's exactly what he's doing. He's going over to the fridge. He's got this 4-year-old fridge's, the 4-year-old kid's fridge full of letters, and he's spelling out the word Mutalisk and Corruptors for him.
Yeah. He's spelling the words "get out."
Spelling the words GG. That's on the Nerchio's fridge, because HasuObs is trying his best. Because remember, of course, this is everything for him. He wants to do well inside the WCS Premier League. He made it deep last season, made it top 8, almost made it to the season finals. But Nerchio just comes in and says, you know what, guys? I haven't done that much in 2013, and I'm bored.
Yeah, seemingly.
Let me come back and let me win something. And this seems to be the tournament that he's playing the best in.
Yeah, that certainly seems like it. So he advances a 2nd place finisher. Does Nerchio. Congratulations to him. I want to hear what he has to say, because I'm sure he has something to tell us in this interview coming up that's pretty cool. He is, we said at the beginning, he's back on form. Yeah, damn right he's back on form. That was scary.
Damn right, Nerchio. Damn right. And he moves on to the round of 16 in 2nd place here behind Titan, who once again joins us in the round of 16. And that completes Group F. We have another Protoss player and a Zerg player, which moves it up to 5 Protoss, 4 Zerg, and 3 Terran players. 12 players in total now that have made their way through to the round of 16. And that just leaves 4 slots remaining, which we'll be playing next week.
Yep, it certainly does. I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be very good, but in between that, obviously, there is a little event. Not just a small event in the form of DreamHack Bucharest, which this gent's going to be attending, and a sick player lineup. An amazing tournament coming this weekend. I've got a 10 a.m. flight in the morning, and I'll be making my way to Romania. What's up, Romania? And of course, we'll be covering that this weekend.
with Artosis, Day 9, Smix, and of course, Adabisi.
All right, guys. Join us after the break, and then when we are back, we shall have a call with the winner advancing on to the round of 16, Mr. Asa Nerchio.
Pure precision with a true 8200 DPI Pro Aim laser sensor. Get pure speed with a 32-bit Turbo Core V2 processor. Get pure command power with the Easy Shift button duplicator. Get pure atmosphere with a 16.8 million color lighting system. Rocket Cone Pure.
All right, guys, welcome back to the WCS Season 3 here for the European Premier League. We have the second place finisher here from Group F on the line. It is Nerchio. How are you doing, man?
Hello, I'm fine.
Good stuff, good stuff. You seem to kind of obliterate people in the end there. That was a pretty impressive performance coming into this group. How did you expect this group to unfold, just in general?
It's hard to say. I guess I was feeling quite good lately, so I thought it would go well, but I was kind of uncomfortable, I guess, versus Titan, because I played him a little bit on ladder and it didn't go so well. So I was a little bit afraid, and as you could see, the games didn't look very well as well.
So Nerchio, my friend, with Stefano's retirement and Naniwa claiming the throne of the best non-Korean, is that something that you could rival in the near future or longer future? Is that something that could be in your sights, to be the best?
Well, I always try to be at the top, not necessarily the best. I guess we could say that when Stefano was playing, I had a little bit more motivation to play because there was some rivalry, of course. Right now, well, there is still some Zergs, you know, like Vordix, but they don't show themselves as much as Stefano did.
Is there any rivalry between you and Naniwa at all?
On my side, I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, in terms of results, he's certainly the best like foreigner, but I think that there's like 5 players. Well, I won't name them now. It's like an example, just 5 players from foreigners that are pretty much at the same level. Like I can beat Naniwa, he can beat me, and we can't really say, who's better. But in terms of results, he's the best.
What do you make of the results so far from WCS Europe with people like, Showtime and Starbuck coming along and advancing onto the round of 16?
Well, it might be a surprise for many people, but Showtime was quite good for a long time, especially like in online tournaments or ladder. Starbuck, pretty much the same. And I would like to say that Heart of the Swarm, I don't know, seems a little bit more random than it was in Wings of Liberty.
More random?
Yeah, like, I don't know, just an example with Protoss and Mothership Core, they are much safer. So let's say they just push to the middle of the map. I wonder why not many Protosses do that. I lost to Sasa in like Season 1 Premier League, I guess. He was like pushing to in the middle of the map constantly and just recalling, and you have to make units as Zerg. So I don't know. I want to say, there's like, with addition of Time Warp, you give a lot of power in Protoss' hands and less to the player he's facing, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, so talking a little bit about, this season of the Premier League, we spoke to Titan earlier on, and he said that his goal is season finals, and hopefully, above and beyond for that. Do you have a goal at all coming into this now for the round of 16 and above?
Well, I usually try to do my best. I don't really force myself to bring any results. I mean, I can't really get to the season finals. I mean, I would have to win like DreamHack and WCS Europe to be in top 16, I think. I'm like 80th, or however you say that. So yeah, that's not looking good in terms of points. I would just, do my best at the European finals. But you won't probably see me, anywhere further, like, except this offline European final.
So you said before you're feeling quite good. So, I mean, the next thing you play in is going to be this weekend's DreamHack tournament and, of course, the StarCraft 2 League Finals. Are you potentially going to give a really strong performance this weekend if you're going to continue on the same form that you are now? Could we see, the big set of results back-to-back from Nerchio? Is the old Nerchio that won tournament after tournament after tournament back?
I mean... The old Nerchio was always there, but there was a few tournaments that I didn't do quite well. But I was pretty consistent, I would say, anyway. Right now, I need a little bit more of like smoothing my gameplay, because I do quite all right, but I sometimes lose in a very silly ways. So there is still a little, small amount of games I need to put in that. I don't lose to some, 4 gateway pressure, because it happened a lot, especially versus Titan ladder, so that was very scary for me. But I think it will be better than it was before, so you won't be able to say anymore that I'm in a slump. Or patch Dirk, yeah.
With innovation now joining Acer, how is either we alluded to it previously in the cast. How has team camaraderie come along? Is innovation involved in any of your improvements over the past? How is it working out with innovation there?
Well, I'm not a type of like massing custom games with even team players, so I didn't play with innovation yet.
Okay.
I mean, he just joined, so there's not much to say about that. But it was quite funny, when I checked his results in like our team leagues, and he had like 100% win ratio. So yeah, carrying us through like to the SC2L finals. And
talking about those SC2 finals, so you know who you're playing against. It's going to be Liquid Hero.
Yeah.
Your Zerg versus Protoss looked really, really strong today. But of course, Hero is an incredible Protoss player. Coming into this weekend then, because of course, DreamHack, you're going to play a bunch of different players, but Hero specifically, is that a game that you can definitely pick up a win for your team Acer?
Yeah, I think so. It won't be like definitely one-sided for Hero, as some people say in Team Liquid forum.
I know you read the forums a lot, Nerchio.
Yeah, I do. But I'll do my best. But as I said, it's best of one, so anything can happen. I feel quite good in ZVP, but we will see what he throws at me because I didn't play versus a lot of Korean pros lately.
I have no idea what to expect from Hero, man. I don't think anybody does. He can,
No.
turn up with anything.
And then in DreamHack Bucharest, you have Stardust in your group, in group stage 2. So a lot of Protoss on the killing floor for Nerchio, I guess. All right. So, any last questions, Sean?
No last questions. Just congratulations, Nerchio, and look forward to seeing you this weekend, and of course in the round of 16 in a couple of weeks.
Okay, thanks.
Congratulations, man. We'll see you next time. All right. Awesome. So that was Nerchio, ladies and gents. Again, just insanely good performance today. Really, really impressive games, and pretty dominating.
Yeah, good performances from Titan. Happy to see Titan, especially considering what he said in the interview where he was thinking about putting it onto the casual side of things if he wasn't be able to make it into the round of 16. Because when it comes to WCS, which is the thing now, this is the StarCraft League. And if he wasn't able to make it, he would have to go back to Challenger. He'd have to wait until 2014 for the next season of Premier League to come in. And as we get closer and closer towards the end of Season 3, it's going to start to be missed, I think, by a lot of players and a lot of fans, as we only have 2 days left of the round of 32, which will be happening next week on Tuesday and Wednesday and the same times as usual. We've got some good players coming up, some interesting groups coming up from those groups. The likes of MC will be gracing the field, Stardust will be gracing the field, Cass will be gracing the field, MMA and Baby Knight will come to play. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how Stardust is going to do in his first Premier League showing. That's going to be interesting. But aside from that, we are done for today, guys. It's been a pleasure bringing you these games, some back and forth, some weird games, some absolute bulldozers of games. But that does it here from the WCS Europe. So thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week.